Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. It's 8 o'clock. It's Friday. And you know what that means? It is Case's movie reviews. And a lot of people have been watching the movies beforehand when we announced it earlier in the week to make sure they've seen it beforehand. That is like Babs in Franklin Park. Babs in Franklin Park said, I had never seen The Breakup, even though I think it's 20 years old. We'll get that information in a second. But thanks for listening in Franklin Park and everybody, because it's time for the movie review. We all know Case hasn't seen that many movies, and The Breakup, let's go. That's the music entertainment news intro. Let's do this one.
For God's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
Utah. Give me 2.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies! Fry! Fry!
Playing football in West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
The Breakup was released 19 years ago, June 2nd, 2006, with a budget of $52 million. It did $205 million on Rotten Tomatoes. And me and Kenzie love this movie. We don't know what Case yet, but The Breakup only holds a rating of 34% based on 192 reviews, with an average rating of 5 out of 10.
People love that movie.
I agree. Everybody I know likes The Breakup. Now, maybe we're biased a little bit because it's a Chicago postcard, if you will, like a John Hughes movie. There's so much.
No, it's great.
I agree. I like it a lot. And another Chicago movie coming up, by the way, in a week. He's going to do The Blues Brothers in honor of the 45th anniversary of the Blues Brothers. Wow.
Yes, highly requested. Next week, the Blues Brothers at this time.
Okay, but we start as we always start with the trailer. So back in 2006, this is what it sounded like when they were advertising The Breakup.
Universal Pictures presents The Breakup.
What about your sister?
My sister's been through a lot.
She slept with the entire Arizona Cardinals offensive line.
She was on vacation!
Don't even get me started, by the way, on your brother.
Richard is not gay.
Okay, Lassie, I want you to listen to me. Listen good. I'm not saying he won't get married. I'm not saying he won't even have kids. But then one day his wife will find him with a guy named Julio wearing leather helmets and clubbing each other to Yanni's greatest hits.
The Breakup, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
That's a good trailer. That was good. I forgot that's how they advertised it with the fights, all the fighting scenes.
All the trailers that were released for this movie were just those two fighting, which I thought was a very interesting marketing campaign.
Very fantastic.
All right, Case, and I do want to point out that we're doing this movie because Case had a breakup this week with his longtime girl, and it's been emotional and tough off the air. We love Case. We love our friend. And so it's and he was going to do Brokeback Mountain, and then Kenzie said, well, no, now you got to do The Breakup. It's the best excuse ever to watch that movie.
I go, you have to do The Breakup, but he's looked at me, and then I decided to clarify, even though I think you know it. I go, because you just went through a breakup. He's like, I got it. Thank you so much.
So you see, you went through a breakup.
I go, because this movie, it has a lot of what you had going on. They broke up, one, and then...
And what else?
But listen, they're in Chicago. And then the third was they lived together after, and Case had to live with her for like a full week after. So I'm like, this is like the perfect movie to emulate what you have going on.
Exactly right. I forgot about the same that lived in angle, living together when you break up again. Huh? Smart, Kenzie, smart.
Kenzie, you don't even understand the can of worms that you opened making me watch this movie and just how similar it was to the life that I've lived. To point a few things out.
Yay.
Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston belong to a bowling league at Fireside Ball. I love Fireside Ball, a place I frequent often. I have to watch them go there in this movie. They go see the old 97s at the Riv. I'd go see the old 97s at the Riv. What a great show that would be. The first bus tour that Vince Vaughn gives in this movie, it's right outside of our office. I can see where what is now an Ulta is in the background. Kenzie, this was like watching an awful documentary of the life that I've lived over the last 2.5 years.
You're welcome.
No. I don't think that's what he means. Because when I walked in, Kenzie, I always say like at 4 a.m, it's like the movie, he goes like, what did you guys do to me? That's what he said.
No.
Yeah.
It's messed up that I had to watch this movie. It hits so close to home in so many different ways. I'm not saying it's a 1-for-1 in terms of everything that Vince Vaughn did to make Jennifer Aniston angry. Those were not all the things that I experienced in those exact ways, but there is a tone to this movie. It's really interesting watching this romantic comedy because there are really, really great lines in this movie. The opening scene at Wrigley Field is Vince Vaughn dialed up to 11. And as somebody that loved swingers, I watched that for the first time 2 months ago on this show. It was great seeing Vaughn back in that role. Jennifer Aniston, obviously a tremendous comedic actress. I just watched Friends for the first time this year. Funny show. I had no idea previously.
Who knew?
It was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it was great. But once this movie gets going into that second act and there is this downhill slide of the relationship not working, it never gets back on track. It is just a vicious assault of sadness and of lived experiences that unfortunately related to me in a tremendous way for the last 60 minutes of this movie. I mean, it is a hard watch for as funny as things are, like Vince Vaughn, trying to explain why he has to want to do the dishes instead of just doing the dishes. All that stuff's very funny, but still, there's some tough watches here.
Oh, that's such a good. There's so much I forgot too. I'm so happy you watched it.
Yeah, no, that's a
I
good
don't
saying.
like waking up to a dirty kitchen.
Who cares?
I care, all right? I care. I busted my ass all day cleaning this house and then cooking that meal, and I worked today. It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
Fine. I'll help you do the damn dishes.
Oh, come on. You know what? No, that's not what I want.
You just said that you want me to help you do the dishes.
I want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes? Why?
See, that's my whole point.
I can't believe I had to watch this movie. It's so messed up.
It really is. It's tough.
I thought it would be a good thing to watch.
It is. It is a devastating movie. What made me sad was that Jennifer Aniston, I was watching her in this movie, and she's obviously so funny, but she's so good in the dramatic scenes in this movie. I wish she would have had one gritty role throughout her career. Like, I wish she would have been Vera Farmiga in The Departed. She needed like a big like Scorsese or Tarantino movie. She needed something because she's a really good actress.
Yeah.
She's really good at bringing the emotion in this movie. And obviously she's very funny, but it just made me wish she would have had a bit of a different career post Friends.
No, before you go on,
please.
It's funny to see when you watch it again, because I saw this recently again, to see Jason Bateman in it.
Yeah.
After you see Ozark, because in the scene when you guys are my friends, and I'd love to really just not take a commission on the sale of the condo. And they're like, thank you. And he goes, but unfortunately my company doesn't allow that. So I'll be he is the dude in Ozark when he's doing this movie, The Breakup. It's everything. And there's so much, and with Jon Favreau, his part about saying, we always do what you want to do. When's the last time you came to a Sox game? Not when the Sox are at Wrigley, when they're on the south side. Tell me when the last time that was. There's just so many good Chicagoisms in this movie that are incredible.
Absolutely. I want to play the audio here from the scene in which Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston in this movie finally decide to break up, because then I want to talk about the ending, which is just an absolute gut punch.
Is this after the old 97s when he goes, sir?
This is after the old 97s. It is, which, by the way, it's like, oh my God, the old 97s were in this movie. What a great band. And then I have to watch the most heart-wrenching thing ever.
Ooh, sorry. I wanted to say, though, an interesting point, because thinking about where she's pulling some of this emotion from acting in this movie. So when this was like her first movie, basically, after her divorce with Brad Pitt, obviously, probably the most controversial, crazy divorce of all time, broke up with America's sweetheart, the cheating from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it was crazy, right? And somebody brought the script to her, and it really pissed her off, actually. She was almost offended, like, you're going to use me in the movie The Breakup, because it really bothered her. She wanted to do it. And then when she read the script, she actually loved the movie and loved kind of the meaning behind it and really getting into the relationship. So, I mean, you have to think she's coming off of one of those painful things you could go through, like her super public divorce because of an affair with a man that she loved. And now she's filming this movie in scenes like this,
Yeah, it's tough. You know what? We're coming up against it here for a second, but I want to play that audio because it's so powerful, and I want to get an actual rating. And I have another surprise about this movie, about the ending.
Okay, because I have a lot of thoughts on the ending of this movie.
It was very, in a lot of ways, the ending defines so much for just people in relationships, what you go through, and people waiting to see how it was going to end.
Yeah.
Because people love a happy ending.
They do.
They love a happy ending in a movie. Hallmark movies, they love that. But we'll continue the review of The Breakup when we come back here in just about 6 minutes. And we'll also give you the keyword for the trip to the When We Were Young Festival, a very happy thing, a VIP trip. That's coming up also in about 6 minutes.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
We have about 40 minutes left to text the word anthem to 95819. Anthem, A-N-T-H-E-M. And that's your chance to get to the When We Were Young Festival, a full VIP trip. 7-Eleven helped put this all together with us. So Anthem to 95819. To 95819 for that. Now let's continue in the conclusion. Case's movie review of The Breakup. And he watched it because he was going through a breakup this week. Very tough, very emotional. But a movie now, I didn't even think about that when you were watching it, as Kenzie pointed out, that there's a lot of similarities to your life.
Oh, what, like a 2-year relationship in Chicago with people that live together and might go see the old 97s at the Riv and then go bowling at Fireside Bowl, and a guy who works outside of NBC Tower?
I was like, oh my God, you have to watch this movie.
Yeah, and I know, and I love this movie, and Kenzie does too. So she's mentioned this even before certain times just to watch it, but it just happened to be this one for this reason.
Oh yeah, no, we found a reason for it.
Pour one out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's tough.
Pour one out. It's tough.
It's a real tough.
A complicated legacy of my relationship.
Yeah. Now, let's see, we have a piece of audio you want to play of the actual breakup, and then I'm going to give you a tidbit about the ending of the movie. A pretty not controversial, but so many people were wondering how it was going to end because Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Anniston actually were dating in the movie, and then they broke up.
Okay.
And also how they wanted to end the movie when you have this horrific breakup going on for hours, and then people love a happy ending. They love an ending like that. But you wanted me to play.
Hey-o, you know what I'm saying?
You want me to play the clip of the actual breakup?
Yes, this is them in the movie. This is them breaking up for, what is the last time.
So this is after he ghosts her for the old 97 show at the Riv.
And then after she says that she's going to quit her job at the art gallery and travel, and this is his last-ditch effort, to get Jennifer Aniston to stay with him.
I know that I've caused you a lot of pain. The funny thing is, all I really want to do is make you happy. I just want to make you smile. Now, I've had a lot of time to think about some of the things that went on, and I know, Brooke, that I don't always do the right thing or always say the right things, but I am willing to try to do things differently. And I'd be happy to go take a dance class. Well, I would, honestly. I would like to go do that or go travel. I mean, I'd even be willing to go to the ballet. Although I would much rather do the dance class or take a trip somewhere, but I realize that's not the point. I realize that point isn't that at all, because it's not really about doing things that you love to do always, but it is about doing things with the person that you love. I promise you, Brooke, I will do whatever it is that I have to do to never hurt you again. I love you. I'm sorry.
I don't feel the same way.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think I have anything left.
Well, maybe you should have watched Brokeback Mountain. I don't know.
Kidding.
Yikes.
Oh, my God.
The thing is, that's my problem, is a guy can do almost anything to me and then give me that speech, and I'm like, okay, let's go to dance lessons. And it's like, oh, my God, yay. And then like a week later, I'm like, uh-oh, I think he was just saying that. Well, we're back at it. Yay.
Duped again.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Kenzie's like, it took 100 times, and I finally learned my lesson.
I feel like this isn't going to stick the way you said it.
Yeah, this gets real. And before you give your rating, I don't know, do I have to, if I say the ending, is that bad, the spoiler of the ending?
No, because I want to talk about the ending, but you were telling me that maybe there was an alternate ending that didn't make the final cut?
You tell me what you think about the ending, how it happened then.
Okay.
What happened at the end, then I'll tell you what the alternate ending was supposed to be.
So, this movie, is a movie that I liked. It's very funny. It's very deep. I enjoyed watching this movie. What made me love this movie was the ending. I think more movies should end with main characters either in a pool of their own blood, dead on the ground, or in a romantic situation with more couples apart. I think it's good to have that represented. One of the things that I told what is now my ex-girlfriend as we were, living together over the last week and a half, but not together, is sometimes good teams don't win championships. And, you have to accept that in life. You think about, I'm serious. You think about the 2006 Bears, right? That team went to the Super Bowl. We all have amazing memories from the 2006 Bears. Every relationship should have moments that feel like Devin Hester returning that kick for a touchdown, because that was a really amazing thing. But we look back now, and we realize that was a flawed team. It would have been weird if they had won the Super Bowl. They just, for as great as they were, for as fun as they were, they just weren't a Super Bowl championship team. And I've had to come to grips with the fact that I really, really love this woman, and she changed my life, and we lived together, and it was a really great thing for me. You know, I grew up so much in the last 2.5 years, and it was good for me. And it sucks that it ended the way that it did. I'm not happy about it. You know, it was not only, for those that maybe haven't kept up, you know, she's moving out of state, which is what prompted the breakup when it did. But it's not like things were perfect other than her moving. We were having issues unrelated to the move. And at some point, I tried, much like Vince Vaughn did, as hard as I could to get everything in line and to try to align what she wanted in life with what I wanted in life, and with the things that make me happy to make her happy. And I tried and tried and tried, and she tried and tried and tried, and it just didn't work. We were a great team that never got to hold the relationship championship over our heads, which is fine, because for 2.5 years, I had a really fun time, and I'll look back at this time in my life as a really fruitful endeavor, as one that I really enjoyed, one that will be filled with really positive memories that I won't forget. But at some point, it just wasn't going to work out. And I like a movie like this that is real. I would have hated this movie had they gotten together in the end, because that just doesn't happen all the time. And it's good. It's good to have this level of heartbreak represented in life sometimes.
Wow.
It's good. Casey's like, it's good.
Ah, that's a lot. Listen,
Get in.
we love you, man. We love you.
Fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, you sound fine. Yikes. Kenzie's like crawling back into her seat.
I just wanted to watch Brokeback.
Kenzie, this was your idea for the breakup. I want to make that very clear.
I just wanted to watch Brokeback.
I went along with it because I like the movie, but, you know, yikes.
So anyways, what did you have to say about the ending, Brian?
Well, you like the ending because they don't end up together. There were endings that they proposed where they do end up together. And by the way, I kind of think they do end up together. Kenzie, you correct me if I'm wrong, at the end of the breakup, Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Anniston, because even though they don't leave together, they're not together, but they kind of go, well, yeah, I'll see you sometime. And I feel like in my head, kind of like the end of The Sopranos, I don't think Tony got killed, and everybody says he did. I feel like that they do end up together at the end of the breakup the way it ends now on film.
They just needed space, and that's the. I always thought there was going to be a sequel, and that's why they did that.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the endings, you can find these on YouTube, that they had a couple multiple endings. One of them was that they bump into each other on the street, just like you see at the end of the movie, and they bump into it, and each of them is with somebody else that's exactly like them.
Oh my God.
So Jennifer Aniston's with a guy that looks just like Vince Vaughn, and he's exactly with someone that looks like Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, that's really funny. I like that.
And they're like, hey. And that's one of the endings, which I don't know if you'd like that one better or not, but that I think that's still up on YouTube. That might be there to watch how that played out.
That's funny. I don't think they ended up together. I'm going to live in the reality that they see each other and it's nice, but that's all that it is. It's a fleeting moment, and that these are two people that, for as much as they might care about each other and love each other, that it is not meant to be. They're not a championship-winning relationship.
Well, we talked about old tech, and Joe checked in and said on the DVD, there is the alternate endings. If you have the DVD.
All right, Joe, I'll go out and buy the DVD.
No, you got to get the Blu-ray. Buy a Blu-ray player. Spend $1,000.
$1,000?
I think the Blu-ray, the real good ones are $1,000.
Am I getting the Blu-ray player shipped from the moon? 1,000?
Not the DVD, but you don't have a player either.
Okay.
All right. So what are you going to rate this movie in? Like, what could you rate it in?
I don't know. Out of heartbreak?
I was going to say
out of broken hearts.
Yeah, out of broken hearts.
I was going to say tour boats, like the river boats in Chicago, because that's what he is.
No, I'm going to go out of broken hearts.
Okay.
This is a 7.5 broken hearts out of 10 movie.
Ooh.
It's a good movie.
It's really good.
It's not a great movie. 8 would be great. 7.5 out of 10. It's a very good movie. I like the way it's represented. I like the comedy. I like the drama in it. Very good stuff. I find Vince Vaughn, when he is on, to be an incredibly compelling actor, both comedically and as a dramatic actor. And Jennifer Aniston's great. What am I going to say? Something bad about Jennifer Aniston? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I mean, you almost get full frontal. It's,
Well, I get full. I get full back.
Backle.
Backle. Yeah.
You get backle.
I get backle.
This might make you feel better. Maddie checked in and said, Case, I don't know if this will help, but my friends and I changed our entire weekend plans so we could buy you a non-alcoholic drink of your choice at Taste of Randolph Q101's Picnic for solidarity. And also, my friend is going through a similar breakup. Her drink will be alcoholic.
Solidarity,
friend
my
sounds
friend.
single to me.
Get it! Get it! Brian and Kenzie on Q101. 21 Pilots. We'll have some information about a show with 21 Pilots coming to Chicago in 3 minutes.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.